Hey everyone! I know I'm like super close to the camera. Sorry about that. Uh, I'm trying to reach, but it's so far away. Hello everybody! It's Wednesday. You know what that means, and I'm gonna be going between sitting to standing, up and down, all around, all that fun stuff. Anyways, hi Muselings! Good to see you. It has been a crazy week for me. I am working on my mini commissions, and for those of you who've been asking, yes, I will be doing mini commissions again, but right now they are closed because I have a lot to work on. Not a bad thing, but I also don't want to overdo it and take on too much and then be kicking myself because, everyone needs these by a certain time, so on and so forth. Let me just jump the music down just a wee bit. So yes, I'm so peppy. I also oversteeped my tea. And it's a big mug. Look at this mug. This is a huge mug. This was steeping for like 10 minutes, and I think the caffeine just like went, "Hi, how are you?" And it kicked right in. So, yeah, I'm a little jacked up right now because I'm so sensitive to caffeine too. I love the archaeologist background, by the by. That is a fun one. Who has that one? One of my PCs has that. I'm trying to remember which one. I'll have to look at them. I have too many right now. I'm trying to remember who I gave the archaeologist background to. I want to say I gave it to Bramble of Thorns. I think Bramble's the archaeologist. I believe that's the right one. But hi to everyone jumping into the chat. So Kelly, welcome. Mago, ciao. Benvenuti. My Italian is so rusty, it's not even funny. I can listen to it and get the gist of it, but speaking it, I have fallen far, far out of practice, much to my grandfather's, I'm sure, displeasure, even though he's not here anymore. But, yes, delicious, delicious caffeine zero, you're quite right. I'm excited for today because it's going to be this dude, and he is one of my commissions, which is why I have it labeled as a commission piece. This is the Pit Fiend from WizKids. I actually showed you this guy when I got I think it was Wave 9, either 9 or 10. When that came to me, I showed you this guy, and we all went nuts because of the details. So then when this fellow asked me to paint this guy up, oh yeah, that was not a hard thing to say yes to. So what I did is my usual, the shadow layers thing, and I'll explain that for those of you who are new, because I'm noticing on Twitter there are people assuming it's one thing when it's not. So what I do to get this going is I did have to do a little bit of modifying on this just to fill in some gaps. For some reason, the back of the tail had this huge open spot, so I had to take green stuff in. Hello, Regina. Thanks for joining us then. So I had to go in with some green stuff and basically create another plate. That had to dry. And then there were a couple other spots I filled in with the super glue and baking soda trick. Again, they weren't massively big. It wasn't something where I needed to use the green stuff there, but it was enough where I just wanted to kind of smooth it over better. The dude has a lot of... This one has made me bleed. I am sure I have summoned something. I am not sure because there was swearing involved when I realized it had cut me because it was a decent... Do I still have it? Yeah. It was a decent gash. It's healed up a little bit, but yeah, he's got a little sharp point here and there. So once I got all that done and the green stuff was dry, I went back in and I primed it all in black. After the black has dried completely... Oh, grazie! So once I had it so the primer was completely dry, and that's key, a little trick I have been doing just as an insurance policy, and I'm finding it's helping. I take that Mod Podge Ultra and I just do a quick spritz to seal the primer on just to make sure it creates a great base, and it really has been a neat little trick I'm noticing is making a difference. After that, I go in and I do my shadow layers. This isn't this caffeine has kicked in big time. It's not the zenithal, am I saying that right? We'll see. It's not that technique where you take white and you sort of angle spray it from one direction or anything like that. This is going through different layers of gray to build up the details, and it actually ends up giving you sort of a pencil sketch effect. And I am pretty damn sure that what I'm going to be doing is taking our Massive Darkness collection and doing all of those minis like this, because I think it would totally suit and fit the feel of that particular game. That's an aside. So what I did is he's already gotten his first 2 layers of the shadow layers going. And I'll show you the colors that I used and explain the whys of it. So the first color I jumped in with is the Vallejo Cold Gray. Once I did that, and it's just dry brushing to bring out those amazing, incredible scales and plates and ridges and then some. Thank you. Thank you very much, Sarah, because like I said, I'm so jacked up on caffeine right now. I'm like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Then when that was dry, I went in with Wolf Gray. Okay, so these are 2 different grays. It's graduating color. And the reason why I do the graduated color is because each time you go in, it's going to lift and lift the higher bits of your ridges and your details, so you get that much more depth to it. And then when it comes time to put the paint color over it, you really get the differentiation happening. It's a little bit different than just going in with straight white, because then you have black white and you have a little bit of graying happening, but not as much. I like painting Reaper. Oh, I totally just looked at the chat. Let me finish this. So the last thing I'm going to do is go in now with dead white, and that's my last layer. I usually do 2 to 3 of them, and this guy has so many cool details. I want to go in with that one more lighter layer to really make sure those higher points are popping. So that's what I'm going to do with him first, and then we're going to go into a basic palette of darker reds and purples and blacks, because the client really wants him to look evil and menacing. My mind instantly went to Legend and the Tim Curry devil character, so I'm going to use that as sort of my point of inspiration to get this guy going. So that is the plan with him. And then the question was, how do I feel about painting Reaper miniatures? I paint Reaper miniatures. We have Reaper miniatures, and some of them I find you will need to sort of bend back into shape, especially from the Kickstarter we just got. I want to say it was 4. Yeah, 4. But I can honestly say most of the minis I have encountered, except for this morning, I've been totally fine with. I will put a little asterisk next to the Gale Force 9 stuff. I've been having problems with a particular mini, and it is acting extremely brittle. The plastic is so delicate, it's literally falling apart at the touch of a brush. So I'm finding with those particular minis, I'm staying away from them. I'm not exactly seeking them out. That's my little thing about miniatures. I haven't had issues with any other brand or anything like that. All have been workable. I haven't had a chance with the new Black Bones. I will say that. I haven't gotten a mini, and I have so many minis, it's not a matter of, do I need to go out and buy more? But I do like Reaper. And this one, like I said, is for my client, and he got the WizKids Pit Fiend. And this is the come at me bruh pose, which was a fun one to do. So I'm going to jump in now, and I'm going to go in with dead white. Now, this is a larger mini. I mean, hi. He's a big guy. He's a big dude. So I don't need to worry so much about using a little brush, and I'm actually going to use one of my nice little angle tip brushes. Do make sure that you shake your paint up nicely. Get those pigments pulled together. You don't need that much, especially for this last layer. Literally what I'm going to do is float this brush across this mini just to get those higher points. So I'm actually going to go in with a wider brush right now because he's such a big dude. And I want this brush to kind of graze over just the high points. I don't need to get into every little nook and cranny. You're not wrong, Opera Ghost. I don't want to get into these darker points and these nooks and crannies. I want those to stay where they are. What I want to do is bring out these details, like the pectoral muscle, the abdomen, all of this beautiful crunchiness. Well, not crunchy, but you know what I mean. All of this beautiful work right here. I really want to make sure those are enhanced before I start going in with a dark red. So, let me see here. Don't get you started on archaeology, never ending. I love watching like those archaeology documentaries and all that jazz. So, yeah, I like archaeology. That's why I was excited for Archaeologist. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking this brush and I am blotting off as much as I can of this dead white. And then I'm going to go in here and kind of keep the brush, let's see if I can show you, kind of keep the brush as parallel to the mini as I can, because that really makes sure I keep it to just the high points. If you go in more perpendicular, you're going to get more into those little bits and crannies that I don't want to have anything happening to. Reaper's Queen of Hell is gorgeous. How's that for you? Yeah, Legend, it was one of those things I was like, it was the horns. Because if you look at his horns here, it's very similar to that one. So that's where my brain went. So I'm just going to go in here and very lightly, again, trying to keep this brush as parallel to it as I possibly can. And it's literally just getting just those higher edges, which may not seem like enough or a lot right now, but it'll be enough when you go and put the color back on. Hello, Viper! Brad Pitt Fiend. True story. I don't like Brad Pitt. I never got the Brad Pitt appeal. Doesn't do it for me. No, I don't, because I honestly prefer how this comes out. And I'm also weird. The source lighting stuff makes me batty. For some reason, I don't like the look of that on miniatures. There's only 2 artists out there who have a really great hand at it, and I love it when they do it. But personally, it's not my jive. I'm not a fan of doing it that way. I tend to go for more of this look for my artist eye is what I find pleasing. So that's why I'm doing that. Same thing here. I'm just taking this white, dead white, not pure white, just dead white. And it's just bringing it out that much more. And a lot of times what I'm finding now by doing this is I am not going back in and using washes or doing another round of highlighting like I used to do before I started doing this little trick. So that's been an interesting development too. But like I said, because he's so big, I am going in with a larger brush, which is helping me make sure that it stays, oops, keep it in frame, keeps it higher up. Nooks and crannies on this fellow are many. I mean, look at, you got all this happening here. And really you want to pull up and against the grain of the detail as much as you can, but back here there's really no sweeping room for it. So I'm settling for going in and pulling down where I can. Yeah, they're two different things, but both of them, not my style, is really what it boils down to. But there are other artists who do great jobs with it. And hello, Akile! Again, and like I said, it's not something I'm bashing and saying don't ever do. If you want to explore it, Chris Gorka, he's fantastic. I love the way Chris does it. He's the one where I will sit up at attention and look at his pictures on Instagram and be like, ooh, okay, you did it. That's one of the few artists where I'll look and be like, okay, that I can get behind. It's just for me personally, I don't see it like it as much. I don't know. It's just my personal taste. But if you love it, do check out Chris because he does some really incredible work. And then, who's the other guy I follow on Instagram? Beard Gamer, I want to say. Yeah, I think it's Beard Gamer. He's another one who does really great work with the source lighting, everything like that. Is it original source, one source? Bleh. And I have tried it. Like, I'll do like a very faint nod sometimes if there's something like spell effect, but I tend not to go too nuts with making sure it all goes to the full detail like some others will do. All right, so I'm getting around and I'm getting more of those areas. I got that hand. The wings are what take a lot of time. Oh, Queen of Pit Fiends. That's very cool, Kelly. Would love to see what you end up doing with that. This actually gets quick results too because he'll probably be done, if not by the end of stream, then by the end of today because I do want to get him, pardon me, finished up. Oh, is it allergy season already? All right, let me get this hand. And then I'm going to move on. Quickly get the back. Now let me do the wings. I need a little bit more of the white though. Unrelated, random thought I had for today on Griffin-esque creature, lion-headed horse, yay or nay? Would certainly be very interesting. What would you call it? I'm going to flip it back on you with a question. What would you call it? It could look pretty darn cool. Would the front legs be lion-esque as well, or would you keep it basically just the lion's head on the horse's body? Is the cup bigger than the mini, or the other way around? Oh, my mug. I'm like, cup? It doesn't have a cup because I'm thinking back to the, the little one I've just finished painting last week. The cup is bigger. The cup could hold him. Let's put it that way. All right, this is really where I wanted to make sure I got that last in with the dead white because these wings have such great texture on them. I want to make sure. Yeah, I'm pretty darn convinced at this point after getting this guy done up with the shadow layers, I want to do the Massive Darkness guys like this because it's such a dark, sinister game. This really does get that feel for it. One thing I do with wings is I do try to be sure I get a little bit more put onto the edges I just find that has a great look when it's done. Hi, McSonovitsky. How are you? We have new names and we have our regular names today. It's wonderful. Really, it is. I enjoy seeing everyone coming back in and saying hello and all that. All that jazz. So let's see. Tomorrow we have Dawnbringers. Holy heck, we killed a dragon turtle last week. That was intense. This guy is so big. I actually lifted this camera up even more so than usual just to try and keep him in frame, but boy howdy, if I pull too far out of frame, then you're not going to see much of anything, but I got to remember to just shift how I normally hold these guys. Alright, so that's one wing done. You can see a little bit the difference here. That between that. I don't like Brad Pitt. It's just my thing. I've never been like, he and Tom Cruise, they were kind of the actors I was like, huh? I get why other people like it. Like him and them, I should say. Personally, I'm just kind of like, they're okay. Yes, let's see a sketch of it. See where your mind's going with it. All right, gonna get one more round back here on this wing. And then we'll be good for starting the colors. Now, the colors I do thin out with my flow improver from Vallejo. I'm using Vallejo paints today on this guy because it's just a heck of a lot easier having the colors right there at hand with a mini like this. Though I have used my craft paints in the past on a mini this size. Oh, I love Jen. Jen's a sweetheart. I like her. But I'm one of those people where I literally have no idea who's dating who, who's married to who. I will be genuinely surprised if you tell me that someone's married to someone. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah, it's been like 20 years. Oh. It's just kind of how I function. I don't get into the whole, what's that thing called? TMZ? Right? TMZ. I don't get into the whole TMZ mentality. It makes me nutty. So I tend to stay away from that stuff. I don't know. Gossip maven things. Not my style. All right, so I'm liking this a lot more. I definitely am glad I put that last round in. So you can see a little bit more of this is starting to pop out, which is great. Say hello, gorgeous. Oh, God. The hands are enormous. Yes, they are a very good size. Indeed. Let's see how quickly I go blue. But here we go. So he is done with his shadow layers. This is definitely where I want him to be because, again, look at these. I mean, hello, the details. So let's talk about where I'm planning on going with these. The wings I want to be a dark purple. And then the the protrusions. These are going to be black. And I'm actually going to use my Vallejo Black that acts sort of like a between a wash type of thing. And then same thing. These are going to be black horns. The body itself is going to be a darker red. And then, of course, I have the mouth to deal with in terms of getting the tongue and the teeth done. Those I may save for the very end, quite frankly. The base I am still debating. I think I might actually go back in and put some of my Vallejo texture paint around here. And I might do sort of like a lava-esque type base and see how that comes out. We'll see. I got to talk to the client about that one. That was something I kind of brainstormed this morning. I'm like, oh, that could be a cool thing. Make it look like he's standing on a lava section where, you see the lava between the cracks type of deal. So I got to talk to the client, see if he wants to go that way. If not, then this is just going to get finished up as basic stone. And we'll take it from there. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is start in with the black because there are so many details. It's crazy. Yeah, see, that's what I thought, Upper Ghost. I was looking like, that would be nifty. So I'm going to go in with my black, and this is the Vallejo Black. For some reason, mine just came extremely watery, which is why you'll rarely see me use it. However, in this case, I want that because I want these layers to be able to show through. And I found that this black works well for that. A cracked lava field, exactly. That's where my mind's eye went with this. Now let me go into my brushes. Brush. Which one do I want to use here? You know what, to be safe, I think I'm going to go with this guy. So I'm going to be pulling out my Color Me Mine. Color by Me. Color Me Mine. That was a store that used to do ceramics where I was a kid. So this is the 10/0. This is Spotter. It's from Plaid. This is just a great line. This is their miniature ones. And then you've seen me use the larger ones for terrain. Do it. Well, I got to make sure that's what he wants. It's not my mini to keep, so that's where I got to be careful. I'm going to start in and first get the chin horns. Let's bring you up. But as you can see, this is a little bit more watery, and it doesn't go full on dark black right away. You can actually build up on it. So that's why I'm starting with these. I'm going to have it where, hold on, let me fix this a little bit. I'm going to have it where I can build the color onto this little by little and get it to where I want it to be without overwhelming the shadow layers, because black can get to be tricky that way. And I did go through, like I said before, and I pulled off as many of the mold lines and everything as I could. That's what I really like about it, Some Kind of Awesome, is this whole, it gives it a sketchbook look, and for my eye, that I find entirely pleasing. Oh, we're talking about Tommy. Yes, black with a purple wash looks awesome, Kelly. I will say that. It's a good combination. Also, black with the Drakenhof Nightshade is another good combination. That has more of a darker blue tone to it, which works out beautifully. Yeah, definitely want these to be black, but definitely using this particular black because of its consistency. I can build on that and I'll get it to where I want it to be without overwhelming it right away. So yep, gonna do this. And then, you're so big! And then I will go in and I will do the body in this red, the scarlet red. And then jump over to the wings. What color? I'm doing royal purple for the wings to get started. And this guy is definitely, because he wants this to be very dark and menacing, we're definitely pulling out Nuln Oil for a wash on this guy because I do want to bring the colors down just a touch. Nothing drastic, but I know that Nuln is the level I'm going to need to go to in this case. Because what I don't want to do is darken the colors themselves and murky them up, which can happen. Now I was smart this time. I took the TeknoAxe playlist and I jumped down a few levels. So hopefully we'll be hearing some new tunes. We shall see. Yeah, look at that. That's already framing him out beautifully. Oh, what's wild? Don't like Tom Cruise because he stole the bathroom from my husband's department. Oh my. Okay, so you have personal reasons then. It's not just because, like me. Now his horns do sort of work their way down to the brow. So I'm being very careful here. I don't want to get the black everywhere. I gotta tell you, this sculpt is super dynamic. I mean, really. This is one I will definitely encourage you to go out and get if you want a really good looking, if you want a handsome devil. How's that? Get yourself a handsome devil, get this Pit Fiend. You will not be disappointed. Boy howdy. Boy howdy the texture here. Yeah, he's got, look at this. He's got so much going on. Stick with acrylic paint. I'd worry about the latex. Latex has a tendency to sometimes peel. You know, I think that's part of it. That's for me with him. He definitely comes off as extremely cocky and full of himself. Come at me, Tom. Come at me. I'm sure this is nothing he hasn't heard before. It just doesn't seem genuine. I guess that's what bugs me. All right. You, my God. The eyes, I'm definitely going to make like a glowing color. I think I might go for like a bronze type of tone. I think that'd be cool. Although I do need to look at some paints that I just got that might have a color that I could switch over to. Because I was debating like maybe more of like a glowing purple-esque type thing, or red. We'll see once he gets painted, but what I don't want to do is put it in a color that his body and his wings already are, and then it sort of blends in. So I'm thinking the golden eyes, the bronzy eyes might be a fun bit of impact instead. But you can see how this is starting to... Look at that. Oh, so cool. He's a groomed sociopath. Well, let's just shoot from the hip. Oh, God. I can't say I've heard about the Christian Bale thing. Like I said, I don't get into the whole gossip factor, so I'm very much of the, I don't know. Yes, no, maybe so. Alright, so the back here, you get a bit of the skull, so I'm going to be very careful. I don't want to get the black into that section. I want to make sure that gets red. Doodly-doo. I did finally start recording for that podcast where I'm playing a Vulpin in Humblewood. Well, in a Humblewood setting, I should say. It's not Humblewood itself. It's more of like a coastal piratey feel. But oh my gosh, that was a fun one to record. And I gotta tell you, it's sort of a different, not that the gameplay's different, it's the setup and everything is a completely different beast than what I'm used to streaming live on things like Twitch and whatnot. So I got my room all set up because it has to be in a quiet spot, and essentially my room is the best place for that to happen, for quiet. So I got my room all set up with my microphone and everything like that, and we sat there recording, and that's when I realized, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't have to like put on crazy makeup, so I show up on screen, I'm not just some sort of pale blob with dark hair, and it really was a lot of fun to sit there and record with the guys and go from there. So, okay, that's the head horns all done. I'm going to go in now and get the wings, and I'm thinking also the spurs on the knees and the claws of the hand and the feet are also going to get black. Oh, Mark Hamill, yes, I've heard only good things about him, which quite frankly makes me happy. Because he's one of those actors you hope is a good guy, and when you find out, yes, he really is a good guy, you just kind of sit there like, yay. I am a big fan of the person, for sure. Ooh, a graveyard. I love graveyards, those are fun. I very much enjoyed making the things for a graveyard when I had to come up with one. They're cool. And you can toss in some random things that really, you know, can be puzzling for the players. Like, why is that a thing there? And it's just a basic monument type of thing. You know, no big deal. Totally harmless. Everything's fine. Totally fine. Ha! Speaking of which, did The Last Dare on Sunday, and a little reveal I have been holding on to for quite a while kindly came about. And my players' reactions, I am glad we were recording because it was priceless. It was absolutely priceless. Their faces, their reactions, and I'm sitting there and I am just grinning about it. It was such a great game. They did an amazing job with combat because I brought out a Kuheister. I think that's how you say it. It's in the Creature Codex, as well as I kind of tweaked it a little bit. It's not a classic Crimson Mist. It's an ancient vampire lady. So she got tweaked a little bit as a Crimson Mist. I made it sentient. I made it so she had a couple little extras to her because it was a pretty intense NPC. All right, so that is all the protrusions on this wing. Darkwing Duck. No, I won't call him Darkwing Duck. And then they got their little taste of Baba Yaga doing her Baba Yaga-ness. And, oh yeah. We had a little chat afterwards. I beg your pardon. Shush. Shush. So yeah, that was a really fun game on Sunday. If you want to check it out, it's still on the Twitch channel, Kobold Press Twitch. Hold on. I really enjoy watching their fighting style together. How they go about trading off, who's going to fight this particular one, that particular one. I've really lucked out with players. They are very talented. They are very inventive. They keep me on my toes, that is for sure. So it's been quite enjoyable. Hello, Johnny Cooper. How are you, sir? Christopher Walken. He's another one I enjoy. A D&D game with Mark Hamill would be incredible. I am sure. I'd watch that. I would absolutely watch that. If I got asked to play that, I'd probably die. Hello, Adam. How are you today, sir? Okay. Yeah, I'm doing my steeple thing with my pinkies to keep things steady. I don't know if anyone's noticed my doing this before, but this helps me stabilize a little bit. And that terrain piece, the display piece that I've been working on, the one I did last Friday, I can only work on that for short spurts of time because, hold on, I need to stand up. Ugh, my legs are cramping for some reason today. I can only do that for so long because it's so heavy. My wrists actually start to shake and my hands get fatigued. So I can work on it for maybe about an hour and then I have to put it down and walk away for the day. I was not expecting that. That was sort of an interesting reveal. Yes, they had the camera set up for standing instead of sitting. Forgot about that little part. Oops. Okay, gonna get the last little one right here. That gives you a sense of the wings now. With that, look at these horns. I'm telling you, the details on this guy. You can't get Twitch? Well, that's a shame. I'm sorry to hear that. All right, now I'm going to do the claws on the feet and the hands and the knees. He needs a manicure. And I will definitely go back in after painting him up, because I usually find that claws and fingernail type details, you tend to have to go back in anyways. Nothing wrong with that. It's just the way it is. But like I said, I wanted to get these started at the least, so I can start building this particular black. Because for me, this black is, it's truly more glaze-like than it is as a paint. Okay, so that's one hand with the claws. Hello, Joelle. I don't think I said hello. How are you? ECC is around, ECCC I should say. I always say the wrong number of C's. That's coming around the corner too. So that's going to be, I'm really looking forward to getting out to the Seattle area. I have never been. I hear only good things from friends who live out there. I'm of the excite to check it out. See what it's like out there. I want to get sushi. That's the one thing I hear all the time. You have to get sushi there. Sushi, and hopefully get to this tea shop that a couple of my friends go to there that I'm just jazzed about. Because they have a little puppy there, and the pupper's name is Bergamot, which I think is flippin' adorable. No, this guy does not need fake nails. He's definitely got his claws going. I'm telling, and this pose is so much fun. Rawr! He's just like right there for it. He's all about being large and in charge. All right, getting the knees. Oh yeah, I definitely want those to be darker in color. That I like. I mean, this is one where you could really get lost in painting and bringing out all these details and this, that, and the other thing for sure. I honestly took a lot longer with the shadow layers because of all these details. I will say that. What is the puppy's name? Bergamot. like the tea. I think it's adorable. And I want to go there so I can say hello to him. Because I am such an animal person. I will probably look and I'll go, Pupper! Hello, mailman. How to figure out how to make a wasteland outfit. Ooh, interesting. Oh, Fortuna? God. Yeah, see, I'm laughing because I also have a friend who he'll take pictures in that pose quite often. And I finally put two and two together this morning. I was just like, that's why this looks familiar to me. Hold on, I need a drink. This really is a massive cup. My God. No wonder I'm like, zing! Because I already had a cup that size this morning. And I go and oversleep. Hello, Matthew! He's singing about his impressive six-pack. That's just going to make me giggle from now on about this guy. Oh! That sounded like the Cowardly Lion. Never mind. Ooh, don't stab me. Don't stab me, fellow. I'm telling you, there are a couple of sharp points. The tail. Remember the, what was it called? Spine something. There was another mini that had a whole bunch of spines on it, and boy howdy, that roughed up my hands. Okay, I need a little bit more black. He could double the rock control. Yeah, I know. I need to get that fellow figured out. I'm actually thinking what I might do, because we're talking about using him for a fundraiser. My time went on me, and trying to get something set up on eBay. I think what I might do is when I do a charity, I'm a part of a charity stream type of thing, see if they want to use that as part of the charity stream. Possibly even Jasper's Game Day, because that is a cause I can definitely get behind personally. So I'm thinking I'm going to talk to Jake about, do you want the rock and troll as a little bonus thing to give away for the streams. Hello, Damien. How are you? It's been a while, right? Although I'm singing more often now, which is awesome. I'll let the song go. There we go. That gets me the angle I need. All right, so I have the wings. Those protrusions are done. The head horns, the kneecaps, the claws. Oh, I have to get the toes. It's like, I think there's something else. All right, let's get his pedicure on. Would you like your mani-pedi? Do you want to get the wax treatment and soften up those calloused hands a little bit? If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you need to take advantage of that. It's a lovely treatment. They dip your hands in warm wax. It's paraffin. And you pull your hand out and they dip your hand in again. And you pull it back out. And the heat of the wax is so soothing. But it also helps moisturize your hands. I should do that. I should treat myself to that type of a manicure one day. Soon, maybe. Two tiny... Oh God, that'd be a riot. Come at me, brah. No. Could you imagine? Well, I can imagine. That's just it. It's going on like that whole scene is playing out in my head right now. I am so visual, it's hysterical. Although there was an interesting tweet floating around discussing how people think. There are some people who think in terms of images and pictures and everything like that. And then there are people who... No, I don't dip this in my tea. And then there are people who think in terms of sort of a running monologue in their head. I am of the latter. Every time I think of something, it's like chatter, 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 surprise. Just thoughts, like spoken thoughts. So how do you think? Do you think in images and pictures? Or do you think like hearing an internal voice? Or voices? You never know. I'm curious about that because I thought that was a rather intriguing concept. He's not worth it, master! I love it. I love it. God, he's such a badass dude. Okay, so I'm going to go in now. I think I'll do the body. Let's get the red going on him. Because, red. And I'm going to jump in here with the scarlet red. Because I just thought that'd be good. And it's a mid-tone. It's sort of, it's got the blue undertones, which I want. I definitely want to have these blue undertones. And then I'll thin it out, and what I can always do is play around with how dark it gets thanks to the Nuln oil. Love to fight the Pit Fiend in a game, but but it wouldn't be a fair fight. He needs friends, lots of friends. That's interesting. Why would he need lots of friends? Is your PC that gung-ho? Let's see. I need to mix this, and then I want to get out a different brush. Where's my mixing brush? Oh, never mind. I have a stick out. I love the coffee stick stirs for this mixing, too. It comes in quite handy. So I've just thinned this out with the Vallejo Flow Improver. Because, again, I don't want this paint to be super thick. I'm looking more for a glaze-like approach at this point. The wings I could not pop out. Trust me, I tried. And I don't want to. The sculpt has so many details around the wings, I didn't want to mar it. So I'm going to have to make do. Trust me, I did consider that. It would have been nice, but there is far too much going on back here that I didn't want to have inadvertently mucked up, dinged, or something like that. The wings definitely don't come off. Nope. Not at this point. Alright, so I'm going in again. This has been thinned out. Probably have to keep thinning it out though. Now that I'm seeing how things are drying quickly down here. And I'm just going in with my brush and putting on a very thin coat right now. And this happened with Cthulhu. I forgot about this. And now he looks like a flayed piece of meat. WizKids has some amazing minis. Okay, thank you so much, Mac Attack. I hope you feel better, and always catch on VOD. This always goes up right away after I hit the end stream. It becomes VOD. Video on demand, for those of you not familiar with that abbreviation. I always try and make sure that's up and running right away for you guys, even though I have sometimes to go back in and edit in information and all that jazz. So basically just moving this red around, making sure it stays on thinly, because I want those shadow layers to show themselves, which, thanks to the dampness of the paint, makes it a little tricky to see right now. It will become far more obvious as he dries. So those of you who are here for Cthulhu, you remember this happening too. We were joking about how that looked. Oh, and the same thing's happening again with this Scarlet Red. So just something to keep in mind if you work with Scarlet Red. Give it time to dry. You're welcome. Good luck with the golems. You're an ancient elder god. Well, nice to meet you. How do you do? Thoughts are mostly voiced. Interesting. All right, let me get in here. And there are places I need to tuck up and under. I'm going to be very, very careful. And pull the red down. I may even thin this out that much more, to be honest. If you find you have more coverage than you wanted, you can always pull some of the paint off with a brush that you've just wiped on a paper towel, which is what I'm doing right now. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting there. Is this drying enough so you can see? Yeah, we're still kind of in the glossy mode. Yes, it does make sense. The belly dancing pose. This was just one of those things where you have to find a bit of humor in what you're doing sometimes. Because here's this massively big baddie. It's like, what? What you gonna do about it? I had fun with it. And it was fun getting some reactions. And the come at me, bruh. Yeah, that was a fun tweet yesterday, for sure. It's nice to know people see the same things I see sometimes. He has a sore back. Oh, God. With the weight of these wings, that's the other thing, because you will absolutely... Sometimes you can get away with the bigger minis and not have to worry about the little black disc. This guy needs it. His wings are heavy. And tips back every so often because of the weight of the wings. He's got the weight of the world on his shoulders, this one. All right, same thing. I did thin the paint out a little bit more, which I'm glad I did, because it makes getting into these tighter spaces a lot easier. and not having to move the paint around as much. But yeah, if his wings could have come off nicely, it definitely would have been more convenient. But these guys are pretty well installed, let's put it that way. And I didn't want to risk anything. Because again, not my mini. He's going to go live with someone else once he's done. Oh, and I did get a lovely... I don't know if I mentioned this. I got an email of the beholder from the 10K giveaway. It got put to use, and the winner included some photos, which was just ever so fantastic to see. It really was. I love seeing the minis I've painted up for people put to use in their games. It's just really... It's cool. It's a really neat experience to see stuff happening. Feeling a little Sweeney Todd. Yoink. This song reminds me of Minecraft. How's that for a random thought of the day? I'm going to move to a smaller brush for underneath the neck. There is no way I'm getting in there with this dude. But oh yeah. All these fantastic details are just amazing. Maybe what I'll do is I'll keep working on him. Because I always forget, the big guys take longer to paint up in terms of getting that first layer on. So I can always get him painted up with the different colors. Let him dry a good bit, and then go back in and show you what I'm doing with him next stream. Next Wednesday. I'm thinking maybe that might be the way to go with this one. We'll see. I'll talk with my client because I don't think he's on a rush order this one. You can hear the Minecraft? Okay, cool. Maybe he just wants a hug. Oh, give me a hug. I could see that. I can get behind that concept. Oh, his elbows. I forgot his elbows have the horns too. All right, I gotta be careful around that. I will go back in and put black on those elbow spurs as well. I love how right now the webcam is just picking up red because of the glare of the wet paint. I definitely find with these minis it helps to go in with a larger brush to the larger spaces, and then you can go back in and fine tune where you need to. But yeah, forgot right there. He's got elbow spurs too. So I'll get those addressed. Tickle me, Pit Fiend. Oh, really? Yeah, Brambles, when we played a couple weeks ago, I think at this point, she got a little flirtatious with the devil. I don't know. I enjoy playing her, and she's very much mostly the most chaotic out of all my PCs. So I'm just sitting there and listening to how this is panning out. I'm like, she would absolutely flirt with this one. She would absolutely flirt with this guy. And she did. She totally did. He asked her to be his queen, but she had to, like, betray your friends. And she's like, nope, not doing that. You're cute and all, but not that cute, honey. Rather more like, you're cute, but not that cute. I'm not betraying my friends. They're far more important to me than you, devil boy. But it was a fun little scenario to play out. Kudos to Ted for putting up with me. Oh, yes. Very happy. I'm definitely going to take pictures, too, and share this, because already I'm seeing the layers coming through as this dries, but webcams, they're fun. Oh. You think he stubbed his toe? I love how you all get into these minis and their little own backstories and this, that, and the other thing. I mean, God, look at Rock and Troll. That truly would not have come into existence if not for you. And I love it. I love everything about him. Steven Troller. Oh my God, I just about died when someone, like, took the tweet of the troll and then tagged Steven Tyler. Like, oh my God, don't do that. Please. That's like where you want to, like, curl up and die from embarrassment. I never heard back, so I don't even think the band saw it, but It was just one of those moments you're like, oh yeah, I forgot. People can do that. Ooh, my goodness. All these lovely little bits of surface. Yeah, definitely that whole legend feel. But Mom, he stepped on a Lego. Or a D4. I will still to this day hold 2. I have stepped on all of the above. I have stepped on a Lego. I have stepped on a D4. Matchbox car turned upside down. That's the worst. It actually cut my foot open. That one did physical harm to me. So yes, Legos can be nefarious. Yes, D4s can be nefarious. But watch out for those Matchbox cars. They are stealth mode, I tell you. Jump out and bite at you before you even realize it happens, and all of a sudden you're like, why is there blood behind me? Yeah, that was not fun. At all. At all. Oop. Yeah, you got a little spots over here I gotta get. And this is going to be one of those minis where you put it down, walk away for 5 minutes, turn around, you find a spot you missed. He's trying to clap a fly that just... Hot Wheels. That's kind of the same thing. Yeah, those suckers hurt. I was kind of glad when the boys sort of phased out of playing with them. My feet were happier. Because it was always one of those things where it's like you'd be changing the sheets and there was one tucked underneath the bedspread and you go and you step down and all of a sudden you're like, why does the world hurt? And you realize there was a Matchbox car tucked underneath the sheet. It's not fun. It's definitely not fun. Oh boy, am I liking how he's looking, but the camera is not being nice to me. I'm so taking pictures when I'm done. Because right now, this is like... I'm happy. Except that the camera's not picking up the nuances. It's just red. Honestly, what you're looking at, I will be curious to see what it looks like when it comes out. To me, it's one of those things where people who can't or don't have time to paint minis, they'll probably find it a very valuable resource. For me, I like being able to paint my minis. Does that make sense? So we'll see. It's certainly a very cool concept. And kudos to them for coming up with a way to do it. Absolutely think that's very cool. For me, it's one of those things I'm like, that's cool. And that's about it. I'm sorry, I can't give you more of a reaction to it. It's definitely going to be a good resource for people. I do think that. But this is my passion. This is what I love doing. I love painting minis up and making them come to life. So for me, it's kind of like, cool. Let me go back to my paint. Hold on. Why are you being weird, YouTube? Damn is not a bad word. Well, okay, but there are worse. Let's see. He lifts. He does his stuff. He makes sure he gets all of his days right. How's that? Da-da-da. Ooh. Yes, you do, Matthew. That is definitely, when you're making your own little golem like that, that's going to require some time and patience. But that's a really cool way to go about doing it. Telling you. You will find, and this is why making sure these paints are thin, you will find as you get to these legs, nooks and crannies abound. And I do want the red, in this case, to get into those because it's going to lay over the darker tones and start playing around. All right, Johnny, thank you for stopping in. Oh, Joel, thank you so much. My turn to cook for... Okay, awesome. Have fun cooking. Hold on, let me just carefully get some color along here. But I am taking the brush and I'm making sure some of this paint gets tucked in as well to really get that good coverage in there. And then we'll play off our lights and our darks that the shadow layers have given, which is just awesome. Now, there was some mold line. This will be fun. There's a mold line that's happening in this zone, and I did try to clean up as much as I could, but because of the intensity of these ridges, there was only so much I could do. So I will say, if you get this, you may find either you're going to have to spend a little bit more time on it or decide what is the extent of how much you want to try and get everything as smooth as possible, smooth in terms of cleaning up mold lines and stuff. What I didn't want to do is overdo it and then suddenly things go amok. And because of the angle of where the line sat, unless you're looking at him like this, it didn't come into as much play. I'm still finding I'm moving some of this paint around a little bit. Ooh, he's a handsome. He does look like he's been flayed. It's just something about this scarlet red cracks me up. Talk like Tweety Bird. I think that's a fair point, what you're looking at, too. The price point does come into play. Again, I want to see where it goes, absolutely. I think it's got a place in the world of minis, absolutely. Because not everyone has the time to sit down and paint a miniature. Not everyone has the want or knowledge to paint a miniature. So if this gives someone the means to get it all done and get a mini shipped to them that's ready to go and that's what they want, then that's filling a need. And there is nothing wrong with that. The way I see it is personally, there is no way I could keep up with painting all the minis for myself, let alone for when I get commissions. So it's not like it's a threat. Does that make sense? That would be the view of a halfling. It would. It would. But I'm talking like player view from table. Because again, there's just some really great details going on there, and I got it as best I could, but I didn't want to run the risk of going overboard, so to speak, and then regretting it. Yeah, because of all these details, he's definitely going to take time to paint up in terms of getting the paint everywhere I need it to be. Because he's got lots going on here. Are you dry enough in the back now to... I'm going to take a picture when I'm done, because the back is looking so great right now, and it's drying. But the camera is just having fun. Oh, Gilbert Gottfried. Oh my god. Ah! Oh my god. Now that is an idea. Where do I want to go with this? I always do this with the big ones. I'm like, where do I want to take the paint now? Finish up this leg. Let's take care of leg day. Take care of the legs and then we'll move over to the last arm. Right? And then we'll get the tail. It's just, there's so much on the head. See? Hims has a lot going on, Hims does. Hims is very detailed. Kind of glad I jumped the line because there's some really good songs happening today. Yay! Thank you, TeknoAxe. Seriously, guy produces all these songs and they're open for use. I love it when people share their creativity like that. Especially when it helps out other creators. It really is appreciated. He's definitely my go-to for music. And yes, YouTube does provide YouTube-safe music as well. But sometimes I find it's just, I don't know. It starts all sounding the same, or I'm just not finding a style I want, if that makes sense. Winged beefcake. I mean, yeah. Definitely not wrong in that assessment. All right. I'm also not going to worry about the base too much because that I can go back in and clean up if I need to. Especially since I need to find out now if he likes the idea of the lava. Beef wings. Beef wings. That sounds like something you could get at like McDonald's or Burger King. I'll have the beef wings, please. Hold on, I'm getting quiet because I'm doing right around the toesies. Ring around the toesies. Oh, Friday night. You know what Friday night is? LA by night. Starting up the new season. I am so jazzed for it. I have been hankering for that story. The players are just fantastic. Jason Carl does an amazing job as a storyteller. If you have not found this yet, you need to. It's LA by Night. It's Vampire the Masquerade. It's so well done. It's just so well done. I mean, that's a stream I will watch and they have brought me to tears and everything like that. Like, I've gotten goosebumps and they're just amazing. Truly, truly amazing. It's good stuff. And I'm not saying it because I'm also like a big fan of the whole like vampire werewolf tropes and whatnot. No, that's not my bread and butter at all. I'd love to play it sometime. Therein lies the keyword though, time. Oh, I am so getting a legend vibe from this guy now the more he's getting colored. I'm just really annoyed that the camera's making it super red. It's not so super red, that's the funny thing. I wonder if... Let me play around. Let me see if I drop the... No, I'll play with it later if I do it now. Yeah, definitely this Pit Fiend, I would get... Hello, Sleepy Pills. I would definitely get this Pit Fiend. I highly recommend you get this Pit Fiend because he's just... He's gorgeous. He's gorgeous for all of his details, darling. Oh, get the other leg. I'm telling you, there's so... Like, my eyes just going for like, ooh, that's a neat detail. Ooh, that's a neat detail. Let me paint that. Let me paint that. I want to paint that. I'll get him there. I'll get him fully red. Might just take the whole stream. Oh, what? Why do we go to Richard Simmons? What happened? Why? Hold on. Do flames coming off of him? Again, I'll talk with the client and see. I have my own version of this too, so... Or not version. I have my own mini of this guy. So that might be one I can play around with when I have a chance. And really just get into all those little extra kit bashing touches. Because that would be fun. Give him some flames, like flames in the hand. Oh, that would be cool. See, I would totally be on that. Were this mine, but it's not mine. He belongs to another. Ours is but a brief interlude. Yank in frame. I really do think the sort of cracked ground with lava look would be an amazing way to finish his base off, though. I'm very much leaning towards that, so that'll be an email when I'm done. See if the client wants to go in that direction too. And if not, then I'll put that on the list for what I'm going to do for my Pit Fiend. Because, you know, that's a thing to get painted too. I'm telling you, these ridges, whoops, are so deep in some spots, which is fantastic. It's just making sure I get in there enough. I'm also starting to concentrate more, if you could tell, because I get quiet. He's trying to fight Doom Guy and now realizing his mistake. See, I'm telling you, you all get these stories going in your head and sharing them. Alright, this is going to be a fun angle. Can I get to you? Excuse me, pardon me. Turn your head and cough. kind of what it feels like right now. Oofta. Yeah, hold on. This is getting all up in his undercarriage right now. Because that needs to happen. Oh, we're getting there, though. We are getting there. Right now you can't see it because of the wing. Yeah, were the wings more willing to pop out, that definitely would have been a big help. It made all the difference with the Cthulhu Mini. That is for sure. But again, I don't want to push it and then regret it. Oh, we're almost there. Just add the Vampire Slayers to it. Vampire Slayer. He's a vampire. That always cracked me up with True Blood. My mother would say, vampire. Because then to me, it's no longer vampire. It's like, vampire, like, da-da-da-da-da-da, vamping. So, yeah. Remember I said I have an interesting head? Interesting mind. Alright, once again, around the tootsies, so I gotta... Now you can slightly. There is slight give. If you need to, you can kind of pinch the wings back. Just be careful. Oh, in frame. Yeah. Tail's in the way. There we go. And I just get the ankle. Can I move you? No, of course I can't. Trying to get the back of his heel and the tail's like, nope. That's my spot. That's my spot. You cannot has. It's like my kitten. All 5 pounds of her. She hunkers down and forget it, you're done. You are not allowed to move. You are not allowed to shift her. Nothing like that. Dragon junkie. Oh, I have so many dragons. I am the mother of dragons. I love painting dragons. I do. A lot of it, scales and wings and stuff. They're just the textures I adore having fun with. So this guy is definitely a second runner-up. Because there are some dragon-esque qualities to him. But yep, going in now and getting that tail. Making sure this paint moves around. You see, there's a little bit right there I need to get. Ah! And right now it's considering the best angle to approach all of this. Back in frame. Oh my goodness. I think I need to see if I can track down Legend and watch it because I'm suddenly craving a viewing of Legend. That and Willow. Though we've watched Willow recently. I watched it with the boys not too long ago. They seem to appreciate it. For a little bit at least. Doodly-doo. That's a good question. Where is the Reaper Pit Fiend? I have that one. I want to say the Reaper one is smaller. Hold on, just 1 second. I think I see it. Let me go on Snag. Take a look. Is that? Oh no. Nope, that's not him. That's not him. That's not who I thought it was. I don't know where he is. He was living there and now he's gone. Thought I saw his wings, but it turned out to be a different mini. So I'll see if I can find it and then take a picture of them side by side for comparison's sake. For those of you wondering. Alright, still working on tail. The tail. Oof, there's the arm to finish and everything like that. Hold on. This is getting juggling act here. I think I'm going to have to let the tail dry a little bit so I can manipulate it and then angle the tail back so I can reach what I need to get. Oh, that's a shame. I do hate it sometimes when like the theater just cranks up the volume on any movie. You're like, I can't even begin to understand what's going on here. Thank you very much. Like, I get you need volume for some of that stuff. Absolutely. But sometimes it gets to the point you're like, what are they saying? Or, my other bugaboo. Hello, Metamar! That is Scarlet Red that's going on him right now from Vallejo Game Line. And it is an intense red, as you can see. It's a red that I've used in the past, and holy wow, forgot how much it makes the camera go, okay, red! You want red? You got red. Yeah, I'm definitely going to paint the tail once the base is more dry. The tip of the tail, I should say. But he's getting there. You have to get that arm in the face. Your players need to suffer. One pit fiend might not be enough. I mean, you could do more. You could always go to 2, maybe even 3. Whatever suits your need. Man. Now it's arm day. The grooves on this mini are incredible. I'm telling you, it's like they really made a point to make sure those were deeper details for sure. Which I'm loving, because that makes such a difference in miniatures. I've gotten minis where the details look cool, but the grooves and the depth of them are almost too shallow, and you sort of lose sight of them after a while. So when they make a mini that really does go into making sure the cuts are nice and deep, it's a pleasure to work with, without question. Yeah, I'm glad I waited on the wings to paint because of how I have to keep manipulating this around. So I would definitely recommend get body painted first, then shift to coloring in the wings. Otherwise, you're gonna run the risk of your hands mucking up your paint on the wings. I really want to get that shoulder. Best movie theater. Watching this quiet scene, someone wanted to turn the faucet. Oh no! That's pretty funny. Something's wrong with the plumbing! Kaboom! Someone put a cherry bomb in the faucet. No, I'm kidding. Almost there. Hello, nooks and crannies here. Flipping around again. This poor fellow, he's probably thinking, you're spinning me around in all these different directions. Now I'm seasick. Were he to be thinking. Come at me. What's up? What's up? You got a problem? What's up? But he's getting there. Like I said, it's just getting this hand and then the face. Yep. Blart. The mini is incredible. It really is. I mean, God, just from like the details of the scales into the texture of the hands. It's beautiful stuff. Alright, time to get this meaty grip taken care of. Why does this sound like Jolly Good Day is this song? Okay. What's wrong with the faucet? There's a pit fiend in it. That's one way to summon them. Turn the faucet on. Alright, here we go. I'm telling you. Thinking because I'm getting close to the nails. Unreal. I'll figure out I'm trying to... It's like, do I compromise on you being able to see detail and going further up? It's just such a big mini. I'll play around. I thought I had it. I really did. But I was also holding him the same place and not painting. This sounds almost like a blooper-esque song. Like do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Back in frame. Almost there with a hand. Almost. Oop, there's that little bit right there. Oh my goodness. Line in the Terminator. Anybody not wearing 2 million sunblock is gonna have a real bad day. Yes, agreed. He wants our kids to start playing on the Ouija board. Yeah, like I said, I have to wait for this to dry, Dungeon Matron. I mentioned it. I'm waiting for this section to dry more so I can pull the tail out and manipulate it to paint it. It's not that I missed it. It's that I couldn't reach at the angle I need to without getting in too tight a space. So I will go back in and address that for sure. And his details are so deep, you're going to find as things start to dry, you may have to go back and get those spots as well, which happens a lot with these style minis. All right, tail is still kind of damp. So, I need a sip. That's totally what I need, is more caffeine. Ooh, I keep forgetting. I need to order myself. Have you seen these yet? They are so darn cool concept-wise. You can put your teacup on it and it'll keep your tea warm, which is a little device you can get off of Amazon, and I want to get one for myself, especially when I'm doing my mini commissions, because I'll get a cup of tea. I'm like, oh, I'll have my cup of tea and I'll sip in between and and then I get caught up in painting. And then I'm thirsty, so I'll go to try and drink my tea and it's cold. Oh, well, you can definitely get them off of Amazon if you don't have a friendly local game store near you, or if they don't have it in stock. But always check with your game store first. Help those fellows out. I can honestly say, at least compared to the ones by me, their prices are sometimes even better than Amazon's when it comes to minis. So do check them out. Where'd it go? There you are. Found you. I'm moving back to that smaller brush that I used earlier. He's getting real tired of being woken up at 6666. That was well done. Well punned there. All right, this is going to be fun. How am I going to... I think I'm going to need to hold him like this. Yeah. Oh, boy. Get ready for rotation, rotation, rotation. When it comes to reaching all these little bits of him. Because, wow. 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 This is also why I'm going to go back in and do the mouth at the very end, because I know it's going to pick up different things. I'm debating of going in with some purple and doing a very light grazing of purple on the veins. I actually want to see the purple on the wings on there first before I start playing out the finer details, if that makes sense. He could be part dragon. I know. It's not quite iced tea, it's just cold tea when you've gone from hot. But I love iced tea, so... And I also love iced chai lattes, so there's that conundrum as well. It's just when I'm going in to grab what I think is going to be a hot drink and it comes out cold, it's kind of like, meh. Not what I wanted. Alright, let me pull some. But yeah, this is a lot of different angles on him. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. He is not this red in real life. The wish list is set up that if something is purchased, it should go off the list. Dungeon Matron. Just a little FYI. And quite frankly, a few people have gotten me, they heard my birthday's coming up, so they've gotten me some little things and they've sent them to me. And I just have to say, it is just the most special feeling to walk in, to go and check my P.O. box for things, whether it's, people sending me their minis to get painted or whatever. And there's this little surprise waiting for me of, oh, you have a package, come and get it at the desk. And it's like, someone got me something? It's just really, really sweet and wonderful. And thank you to those of you who have used the wish list and purchased something for me. I enjoy wearing the octopus necklace and the... Hold on, thinking. The dragonfly necklace that I received. Both are fantastic and very much treasured in my book. Alright, I'm working around his jaw, so I'm going to get really quiet right now. Because I want to be careful at this point. Let's see here, can I? Trying not to creep the red up too high. That's why I'm slowing down a little bit. Oh, let's look under your neck. Yeah, I need to get under there. Yeah. Do I like steampunk? I definitely like the steampunk aesthetic. I have this... Oh my god. One of the courses I got recently, and if you saw me at PAX Unplugged, you would have seen me wearing it. It has these fantastic chains and hooks and everything on it. It was just... I do like the aesthetic of steampunk for sure. It's one that I could easily adopt into my daily wear if I wanted to. Let's put it that way. But the wish list itself you can find if you go to my website, thecraftingmuse.com. There's a little tab on the left-hand side that should take you there. For anyone curious or what have you. I also have a shopping list there for Amazon. It's my commission-based one. So you can purchase stuff off of Amazon, no additional charge to you. I get a kickback commission for advertising for them. And I've put up things like my favorite materials that I like to have on hand at all times in my studio, as well as my streaming equipment, because I get asked about my streaming equipment a lot as well. So yeah, I try and make sure I put up sources that can be as helpful as possible for people, especially with that shopping, the shop itself on the website. All right, getting quiet again because I have to like paint between his two big noggins. Yes, Viper, I know, and I explained why. I'm waiting for that section to dry because I need to pull the tail out to get to the right angle of it. So I'm saving that last little bit for drying purposes. And I think that's everything for the head. Yeah. Let me check. Alright, cool. Nothing's pulling away. Because I definitely need to manipulate the tail a little bit out. Question is can I get the pressure where I need it without... Oh, this is going to be a couple of passes, I have a feeling. Alright, there we go. It's out. I know I'd have to put more pressure down, which is why I really want to make sure that paint was dry before going in and doing this. Otherwise, I may as well just be wiping the paint off after I put it on. So if you go to paint this, I'd recommend start from tip to base instead of base to tip like I did. That way you can manipulate this a little bit more easily. But you will have to finagle the tail just a little bit to get to that very back area of the tip of the tail. Yep, and now I need to get into here. Okay, so there's also a little groove right there I need to grab. Diesel Punk is way cooler. We're going to get into an aesthetic debate. Quite frankly, I like looking at different trends like that. The nuances and what drives them and the reasoning. I love stuff like that. Okay, it's looking like now's the time to spin them around and see if there are spots I need to go in and tuck a little bit more color in with a smaller brush. Although honestly, I'm not seeing too much. Looking at the camera because the camera really good. Yep, that's a little bit. This little bit right there. Feet are looking pretty good. Okay, so he's definitely red. Red as a ruby red. Thank you, Totopotamus. I'm actually about to wrap it up soon. Because I'm going to want the body to dry before I move on to the wings. In case I need to touch any parts of the body to get to the wings. So I think... No, I know. Not I think. I know to be safe, I want this red to dry. And I'm actually going to go in and give it a quick little spritz of Mod Podge Ultra to protect that paint layer. Like I've started to do, and I really like how that's working nicely. And I'm going to take a picture of him when he's fully and completely dry in all areas. So you can see how the shadow layers are actually coming out to play, even though the camera just wants to show him as a flayed creature. Thank you, Scarlet Red. It's an intense red, but it shows up even more intense, that's for sure. And again, he's a good size mini. I mean, hello. He's like a pair of glasses and then some. But it's a mini who's sculpt... Oh, now I'm seeing it. This is why I'm glad I rotated. It's a mini that I highly recommend you get, especially if you want something darn impressive on your table. Because this will absolutely fit the bill. There we go. That's better. Okay, so he's gotten his first round of black on the horns. I'm going to do another one after I get the wings done. The mouth I'm saving for the very end, as will I do for the eyes. But... I like how he's looking so far. I will take a picture of how he's looking with my camera so you can actually see not just red, but the tones that are playing up underneath it as well. So what I'll do is I am going to go through and I will just paint the wings off camera. And what I'm going to do is paint them in the royal purple. Stand up, sir. You're not that drunk. So I'm going to go and I'll paint the wings royal purple. And then next week, what I'll do is I'll go in and if I need to, I'll do some touch-up work in terms of adding some extra highlights here and there. I'll then do the finer details of the eyes and the mouth and the teeth, and we'll take it from there. But I'm thinking he's going to be a kind of pause and do a little bit each day because, like I said, there's a lot of manipulation that needs to happen just to get into the different angles and get behind things. It would have been easier had the wings not have been on, but again, they weren't popping out. I tried. Nope. It's going to take far more pressure than I was comfortable putting into it. So yeah, I got a couple things I'll do with him, and then what you'll see when I come back next week, he'll have purple wings. Everything's going to be dry, and he'll have a quick little coating of the Mod Podge Ultra in matte. And then we'll go in and we'll do some more little detail work, because there's details I definitely want to go back in. But yeah, he's a handsome brute, this one. He's a looker. All right. I'm loving it. This is a great sculpt. This is a wonderful one from WizKids. For those of you interested, it's the WizKids Pit Fiend. You can find it on Amazon. You should be able to find it hopefully in your local game store if they have it on hand. I will see you. I'm planning on a Friday stream to work more on that really cool display piece. If for some reason I need to cancel or tweak things around, I will make the announcement on on Twitter, as well as Facebook for those of you keeping track. But let's see. I think that's it for today. Definitely. I will let him dry, take a photo of him, get him sealed up where the reds are, and then I'll get the wings done later on this week. And I'll take a picture and share that so everyone kind of gets a sense of what's going on with him. And then next week we'll get into doing some more detail work on him. Washes, I'll do at the very end so you can see how it's going to yoink. The Italian in me. It's going to bring out more of the details, even then some, and we'll take it from there. But like I said, this is supposed to end up being dark and menacing, So I'm actually, if there's going to be any highlighting happening, the highlighting I'm going to do ahead of time before I do the Nuln wash, because I want it brought down again. This is supposed to be a very dark and evil creature, so I'm making sure we're keeping to the dark and evil tones. I don't want to brighten him back up and give it more of a, not cartoonish, but a brighter look to it as a result. So that is my thinking behind all this. Everyone have a fantastic week. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And I'll see you on the flip side. Bye, everybody.